Bureau of Standards so that it will be able to carry out its functions effectively.
Several international trade and investment preferences are available for Gambian businesses, and the government has been offering technical advice to entrepreneurs and facilitating their access to these preferences. The country's private sector operatives are beneficiaries of the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, a U.S. government policy promoting trade between sub-Saharan Africa and the United States. The package offers incentives for open markets and expands preferential access for imports from beneficiary countries. Job creation is at the forefront of the Gambia's development agenda. To minimize unemployment and poverty, particularly among women and youths, the Priority Employment Program was introduced as a means of facilitating an enabling environment through the development of a skilled, versatile, dynamic, and efficient workforce. The program favors the creation of job opportunities for self-employment in both the formal and informal sectors of the economy. Guided by a bright policy vision, the Gambia thrives into the ages with a well-defined effort to increase production for domestic consumption and export, maintain an open, competitive business environment, and provide jobs for its growing population.
The economy is in good shape, and it is not very adversely affected by the financial crisis because our economy to a larger extent is not linked to the international mainstream economy. And so a lot of the sectors are not linked to the international trade mechanism. So the shocks are very minimal. What it has really affected is the import, re-export trade and other investments and direct foreign direct investment. But our economy is in good shape. We will be able to survive the year as budgeted for.
This is the news in summary with me, Ajami Sise. The Grand Master of the Royal House of Aranan, Datu Muhammadul Ali Al-Mahmoud Aranan of the Southern Philippines, acting on behalf of the royal family of Sulu, has conferred on His Excellency the President, Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh, the royal titles of Datu Siri Mulia and Datu Laksamana de Raja of Grand Commander on the occasion of his 47th birthday. A news release from State House reveals that the awards are in recognition of President Jammeh's untiring efforts in the service of his nation and for his standing in the preservation of peace and solidarity amongst nations in the world, especially between the Gambia and the Royal House of Aranan. The release also states that President Jammeh is the third recipient of the prestigious awards. The Royal Council of the House of Aranan recognizes members of the first family as members of the Royal House of Maharaja Andinan Aranan of the Southern Philippines. The dispatch ends. Meanwhile, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya AJJ Jammeh, thanks all those who sent him birthday gifts, cards, messages of goodwill, and birthday wishes. A State House news release states that the President is deeply touched by the gestures of love, solidarity, and goodwill shown by Gambians and non-Gambians alike, especially the Sulu royal family of the Southern Philippines. His Excellency the President also thanked all those who joined him at his birthday celebrations both in Banjul and in Kanilai, the release concludes. The commission set up by President Jammeh to look into tax evasion and other corrupt practices on Wednesday presented its findings to the head of state. Wednesday's State House ceremony was attended by cabinet ministers. The heads of the various departments and institutions under the purview of the Vice President and Women's Affairs Minister on Wednesday gathered for yet another sectoral meeting. The periodic interface, presided over by Ajah Dr. Asutunjai Saidi, saw the scrutiny of a range of sectoral plans and the identification of strategies designed to help surmount implementation bottlenecks. Officials from the Bankers Association of the Gambia on Wednesday presented a check for nearly $200,000 to the Vice President and the Women's Affairs Minister. The money, according to the donors, is their contribution towards the trust fund set up by government to help farmers who are reeling from the effects of the crop failure. Madam Jai Saidi also met with Nigerian actor Jim Ike. Local livestock farmers and experts in the domain of animal health are meeting to formulate a 10-year strategic plan for the International Trypano Tolerance Center. We discovered fuel on the body of the deceased white man and part of his wrist was also burnt. Inspector Lamin Cham, prosecution's fifth witness in the current murder trial against 3 Nigerians, tells the Special Criminal Court presided over by Justice Emmanuel Nkia. The evolution of many trials in the case is giving a dual facet to proceedings. And to news elsewhere, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has appointed a new prime minister. His name is Riyad Shizan. He most recently served as the country's agriculture minister. Meanwhile, the government says it will allow UN staff into the country to deliver humanitarian aid. This news comes as Damascus is expelling diplomats from 11 countries. Opposition forces say several Damascus suburbs and the city of Homs are now under intense shelling. Reports also speak of heavy clashes on the country's border with Lebanon. He was part of Al-Qaeda's inner circle in charge of operations and masterminding attacks, a frontman for the terrorist network frequently posting videos on the internet. Meanwhile, US officials say Abu Yahya al-Libi was killed in a drone attack in Pakistan. Well, you can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, which is the www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS radio live. Well, that brings us to the end of the news in summary, which also marks the end of transmission. Thanks for the pleasure of your company and have a good morning.